Sit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Right now, we're chilling and vibing. We're going to get into our first segment. Be sure to come in, like the video, share, and enjoy. And please leave a comment. Let me know where you're from. Okay, but welcome. This is Your Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. I'll be right back.
We could be living, staying up late until the moon drops. We could be gone women all around the world, baby, non-stop. Cause you want me, we could do it all, and it's all love. We could be selfless. We could be falling in love. Falling in love, falling in love. We could be vibing. We could be riding the rush. We could be selfish. Let's go along for the ride. We could be selfish.
Yes, this is Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. We're going to get started in the first segment, like 5 minutes. Right now, we're chilling and vibing. So welcome to the live. Welcome to the chat. If you're on the replay, thank you for listening. This is Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. Yes, so welcome back. We're going to start on our first mini segment. So just a second. Okay. All right. Here we go. Yeah, this is going to be a little lightweight segment. So I do want to get into this though. I thought it was cute. Anyway, our first person up is going to be Miss Minnie, Miss Minnie Beyonce. Anyway, the Mini Queen moves fans crown for Blue Ivy Carter. Now I picked this because Blue Ivy has come a long, long way. Like she's come a long way. Her performancing and everything. Don't she look pretty there? Anyway, I just wanted to get into this a little bit. We're not gonna stay here long, but I'm gonna give her kudos, and she does definitely move like her mom. I'm gonna play this. I'm not gonna play the music. We're just gonna watch her dance real quick, and we're gonna go. It's gonna be like maybe a minute. I don't want to copyright, so we can't play the music. But there she is, Miss Missy. She's doing a great job, and I picked it because she's come a long, long way, especially in her dancing, her performance. She's very confident now, and I'm sure we're gonna hear more from her. So yeah, there she is, jamming, looking like her mama. Yep. It's so funny because a lot of people were so concerned about her at first because I think she was new and trying to figure it out. But she definitely moves a lot now, so good for her. So anyway, yep, I wanted to share that. So she was doing her thing. Eh, See how confident she is. I love that for her. Yay. Go Blue Ivy. Anyway, I just thought that was a cute little situation. Just wanted to share that. She has a lot of fans too. Blue always repping New York City when she comes back home, so she has fans. But her mom's an icon, so there's that. She would be even more of a better dancer than her mom. I think she will. She's coming along pretty well. Oh, she is an icon. Go Blue Ivy. Anyway, that's just that. I wanted to share that because I thought it was noteworthy, and she's so cute. And there's Beyonce and her and her little sister. I think her little sister name is Rain or something like that. She's so cute. She is so full of personality too. Hmm Anyway, there's that. So yeah, just give me a second. We're gonna move into our next mini segment, but I had to share that I thought it was cute, and yeah, just want to celebrate our little queen there. Moving on. So just a second. All right. Now we're gonna get into the next one. See here. Second. Well, before I get into this one, yeah, we'll get into this one, and then yeah, we'll get into this one. Then we'll go back because I want to talk about the Arkansas cop. But let's get into this. Let's get into Mr. Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight's son, Nico. If you didn't know, he reported he passed. You know, I believe it was from cancer. Young guy. He was 32. Now the thing of it is that for whatever reason, well, first of all, they were estranged from each other. So there's that. I think it was like 2 years they haven't spoken or something. Where he passed, the son passed. So the uncle came out. The uncle came out and he reported that he had passed away. Um, and Brian McKnight was so upset about it. He was so mad, so angry. But it's sad that they weren't talking. I mean, he's had a lot of issues with his kids from his previous marriage. I don't know what's going on. Brian's been real different the last few years. He's been a little different, so I don't know why he's been different, but he has. But let's keep going. Okay. But anyway, there's his son. Bless his heart, man. He rests in peace. But Brian came out booting up. And this is the uncle. I went over this before. Uncle kind of shared about it and this, that, and the third. But let me see if they will. I think I tried to. Let's see if we can play this
Wherever you
commercial.
go,
Anyway, what we're waiting, like, what are we doing? We're waiting on the uncle to speak because he spoke on the passing of his nephew. And of course, we get to hear the GMC commercial. Here we go.
So all day, I said to myself I wasn't going to post about this. And as the day wore on, I realized that how could I not post about this? This morning, I found out that my nephew, Nico McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. I'm just going to be raw with how I'm feeling. Nico was one of those amazing kids
Mhm.
who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. And I will also say, probably one of the reasons why I wasn't going to post about it is I post a lot of things, but I don't post a lot of really, really serious subject things, or certainly family things. And I wanted to post this about Nico, about his legacy, about how amazing he is, and not about what some of you may have heard about, the family drama that has existed for quite some time in our family. I'm not here to discuss that or to talk about how that happened or why it happened. This is not the time or the place, but what I will say is, in any situation, there's always at least three sides to a story.
Mm.
There's my side, your side, and the truth. And the truth, a lot of times, is somewhere in between. So here's the thing. I don't know exactly what was going on there. I know what I've seen. I know what I've heard from all parties involved. And I try not to judge. I just try to be as loving to each person as I can be, because apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Nico. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Nico. Uncle Claude.
Oh, that was nice. Anyway, so that's what happened, and that's why Brian was upset because Brian didn't come out and say anything. His brother came out and let everyone know he had passed. So um, clearly, he is extremely upset about it. Um, yeah, he's going off. I don't know what's going on with Brian. It's been different. Yeah. Let's see here. Just so much. Anything else that we need to know besides I'm being mad? Anyway, it's a shame. It really is a shame. I really hate hearing that he's estranged from his children. I really hate hearing that. He's taken on his new family, but he seems, it appears, again, I don't know for a fact, but from the rumors and then from the interviews from his ex-wife, it appears that he's kind of ignoring his old family. But I don't know that for sure, right? A lot of hearsay. There they are. Okay. Oh, so yeah. Julie McKnight from 1990 to 2003. One of his Tasha K interviewed one of his ex-wives. I'm not sure if this was Julie or not because he has more than one. So I think it might have been her. She had a lot to say. Hmm. So Julie, you uploaded it up. I'm just getting into a little bit of it. Now I'm in a little bit of nosy, but just checking it all out. Condolences for Nico. Oh, yeah. McKnight married his second wife, I think it's Elena Mendoza. Right. Yeah, he did. And that's all he speaks on and shares. They don't say anything about I guess, the older kids. Anyway, it's a nice looking family. They look nice. I don't know what's going on, but nevertheless, we're going to move on. There's that. So, okay. Um, may his son rest in peace. And let's move on, okay? Yeah, let's move on to the next one. All right. We're going to go right on into it. So, just a second. Just a moment here. Da, da, da. Okay. So, I'm going to step away for like 5 minutes and I will be right back, okay? And get us set up for the next segment, okay? Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Thank you for listening. This is Chit Chat with T. Thank you. 'Just a moment. I'm coming. Let's see here. Da, da, da. 5 minutes. Thank you.
I will never leave you in the pouring rain. And no matter what we go through, love will still remain. So do what you want, baby. You and me in the sun. Know that I still be here when the day is done. So come a little bit closer, and I'll tell you what I feel inside. You know I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. You know I'm gonna wait on you. Yes, I'm gonna wait on you. No one's gonna love you like I do. So glad that I found you. You're the missing piece, the last piece of the puzzle. I'm finally at ease. So when times are rough and the promises we make just seem so hollow and weak, and we're about to break, we have to remind ourselves, 'cause we know how we feel inside. You know I'm gonna wait on you. Ain't over till it's over. I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna love it till it's gone. You know I'm gonna wait on you. And the weight that's on your shoulder, I'm gonna carry that for you. So hear me
could he do for me? I told him that my love is free. Can you touch me? I can do it all for myself. Want you, but really don't need help. So can you? I like luxury. I like fancy things. Shine on my body. Live like royalty. Treat you like a king. If I trust, but you must be worthy of the crown. I'm not just anybody. Born to live in luxury. La 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 la. La 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 la. Lux. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm serving rich Auntie Chloe B. I know my job is a blessing, but if you take me, rocks on my wrist, fur on my feet, setting the table in all the chic, baby, come eat. I like luxury, I like fancy things, shine on my body, live like royalty, treat you like a king if I trust, but you must be worthy of the crown. I'm not just anybody, born to live in luxury. I work too hard on my luxury. We come so far, luxury. Cover these scars and diamonds, luxury. Every day I'm alive, it's giving lux, yeah.
So yes, welcome back to the live. This is Sister with Two. I'm your host. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get started in our next mini segment. I had a video set up and something happened to it. But anyway, moving on. That's okay. We're just gonna move right along into the next one. Okay. So I wanted to discuss this really quick. This is another short one. I wanted to talk about um this particular situation has been going on. I think it's only been like a couple of weeks, and it's about the ex chief of police out of Arkansas that escaped the prison. And I don't believe that he just escaped the prison. I honestly think it was an inside job, but the weirdest thing, they're not really asking. They're saying that the authorities claim that they know how he escaped, but I just don't believe he just walked out. I just don't believe that. I just hard to believe. It really is. But yeah, there he is. Um, there he is sitting there, and yeah, they caught him finally, and which is a good thing because apparently he's extremely dangerous. So there's that. So that's a good thing. So the former police chief was convicted killer known as the Devil in Ozarks. Okay, so good thing they caught him. My goodness. But yeah, he's like 50 something years old. He just walked right out. I was like, child, bye. But he did. But anyway, just want to get an update on that because we're kind of watching it because I still don't believe he just walked out. I think he had inside assistance. But nevertheless, the good thing is that they got him and he's back in security and apparently he was like extremely dangerous. So there's that. And yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all we need to know. Okay. That case is closed. Yay. That's a done deal. So yes, he's out of there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the next thing. Okay. All righty. So yeah, let's get on to it. So yeah, and we kind of already talked about that one. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to, and we talked about Miss Blue Ivy. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. And the next segment is, oh yeah, we gotta get into 50 cents. Okay. We gotta get into 50 cents. Just a second. Okay, so the reason 50 cents is on the screen is why? Because 50 cents is so petty. Here's why he made the petty list. If you didn't know, he's petty. Okay, he's extremely petty. And recently there was something that came out about, well, I actually did a video. It came out that President Trump spoke on would the question was asked, would he pardon um P. Diddy? Okay. Would he pardon him? And he responded, and he didn't say no. He didn't say no. He basically said he would look into it. Da 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 da. Check that video out if you want more details. But 50 cents is not having it. Okay, 50 cents is not having it. And at first, 50 cents is so petty, which I am here for it. Some people don't like 50 cents, but I'm here for the pettiness. Okay. Um, but I'm definitely here for it. I am. But because he's funny to me. But nevertheless, I guess he's funny because he ain't talking about me. But nevertheless, I realized I was watching the P. Diddy case today. Well, not necessarily watching, more listening, but I was tuning into the different channels, YouTube channels. They were doing a great job. Getting, watching for us because, we can't necessarily go into the courtroom, or they're not filming in the courtroom. But then I was kind of sharing. But the person that was testifying today allegedly or supposed to be could be 50 Cent's is ex baby mama. That's what people are saying. That's a hearsay, but that's what they're saying, that the baby mama. Because I could, when I tell you, I was like, he really does not like P Diddy. He's always had a couple things to say about P Diddy, though. It's not anything new. I mean, he's always had something. He just never really liked him. So you know what I'm saying. So there's that. But yeah. So so just a second. Just a moment. Righty. Second here. Let's get back over here. I'm going to get into a little bit of this. I just wanted to share a little something about, and we'll move on. Okay. Nevertheless, I did pull the articles. If you don't know, I love a good article. Okay. Here we go. Pulled it from OK, and just gonna get into a few details because the 50 Cent blows up on podcasts after host links rapper X Daphne Joy to Sean Diddy Combs' controversial freak-offs. I know why he really don't like P Diddy. Let's get into it. So I was listening to the case today, all the things that went on. Well, if this is the same person, the ex-girlfriend, and it allegedly is, there are some things that went on that was just so how about scandalous? That's the word. It was scandalous, okay? And so that's how it's connected, and a lot of things went on. So I think they were trying to make it seem like P. Diddy made her do these different activities, I'm not saying the word is intentional, but anyway, those particular activities. And so I think they were trying to, and I guess I don't know if some people, I don't know what people believe, but that was what the point was. I think that's what we're trying to do. That's what the prosecuting team was trying to do. But that's, I don't, it doesn't sound like this will happen. From what I heard, is it sounded like, and I'm not saying she's not a victim. It just, the way she spoke, it did sound like she kind of stayed like she was participating, like she was kind of enjoying it. But then again, on the other hand, she also spoke like she was a victim at the same time. So I'm not even touching it. If she says she was a victim, then so be it. I ain't touching any of it. But the point of it is, she's supposedly be the ex-girlfriend to Mr. 50 Cents. And so he has this whole thing about P Diddy. He cannot stand him. I think I knew that, but I really didn't understand why. But now I understand why. So he basically came out and was like, no. He was like, no, I don't know. Letting President Trump know about how P. Diddy spoke on him. Apparently, P. Diddy had some things that he said about President Trump, and P. Diddy wanted him to know what he said because he don't want him to be pardoned. So as Diddy faces a federal sex trafficking trial, allegations of running a criminal enterprise have come to light, including reports of drug-fueled orgies referred to as freak-offs. If I hear that word one more time, or two words, The trial has garnered attention, particularly of Diddy's former partner, Cassie Ventura. And, she was the first one to, I think she was the first one to testify. Her was the longest, I think. The narrative took another twist when Haynes opened up about his involvement or lack thereof, and the other celebrities reportedly swept up in Diddy's world. So it's just been a lot going on, but this is how this is connected to this. Okay. But during the podcast discussion, Cam asked Hayes explicitly about Joy, asking, "We hear about 50's baby's mama, Daphne, being involved in some of these things. Did you ever F Daphne?" I mean, ain't that a question or what? Hayes responded, "No. Every time I was called or involved in any way, it was only Cassie specifically. However, that wasn't enough to saturate 50 Cents, who quickly took to Instagram, like he doesn't mind, right, to post a clip of the exchange. The rapper shot back, Well, here comes to don't kiss my boy PP mouth." Ooh, I read, "Don't kiss my boy PP mouth." I did read that because they said that they mentioned that in the trial about PP mouth. Some people, yeah, it's nasty. Moving on. If you know, you know. But there's Daphne alleged, and they kept saying, you think she was Jane Doe number 4, but her name is out there. If I mean, I'm assuming heard. It's a word. It's a hearsay. But just last year, Joy herself was implicated in allegations that she was among several women who may have been compensated for S by Diddy. That accusation led 50 to seize the opportunity to mock her publicly, further swirling the gossip mill. Not once to back down, Joy responded with a forceful statement addressing 50 Cent directly. "Everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos into people's lives," she said before accusing him of aping and physically abusing her. "You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on." After making the accusation online, Joy deleted the post, but not before 50 Cent filed a defamation lawsuit, which he later dropped. Yeah, and it's amazing. I'm not saying 50 Cent did anything, but it's amazing how he's not. You better be careful messing around. He'll be sitting on the stand. 50 fighting against Diddy, pardon. And so that's exactly what we're kind of talking about here. But yeah. hmm As 50 Cent's return continues his public feud with Diddy, he recently vowed to contact former President Donald Trump should any important possibilities arise for the rapper amid his looming legal battles. Late last week, Trump acknowledged the case, stating he would look at the facts, while recalling a past cordial relationship with the bad boy mogul. Pressed for the thoughts, 50 expressed he wouldn't let Diddy go free, stating, "Donald doesn't take well to disrespect and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. While working tirelessly to make America great again, there's no room for distraction." Anyway, there's that. We're done talking about Mr. 50 Cent with his petty self. He's one of the pettiest men I think I've ever seen online. He's funny to me though. I think he's funny. Anyway, there's that. Okay, all right. So let's move on. I just wanted to touch on that. I thought it was interesting. I did. Thought that was interesting. So yeah, we're gonna jam a little bit more, and they're gonna come back with my next segment, and I got some more goodies. So thanks for listening. And if you're on the replay, I appreciate you listening and watching. Okay. All right. I'll be back. Thank you. Give me 10 minutes. Yeah, segment's gonna start in like 5 minutes, okay? Thank you for being so patient. This is Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. Hope you're having a good night. Yes, we're down to a couple more minutes. We're gonna get started. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get started in just a second. See here. Okay, I think I need to reset. So sorry, looks like I think something happened. Oh yeah, I did. So let me reset. Sometimes this happens and you don't even know it happened. So let me fix this. Amazing. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, let me fix this real quick. Okay. Second here. I think something was going on weird. But things happen and you gotta keep on moving. So there's that. Keep on moving. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, okay. All right. So yeah, we're gonna get started in just a second. I have to get something right. Looks like it's kind of disconnected, but I got it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Almost there. Thanks for listening. This is the Joe with me. Okay. Be right back. Thank you. Okay, I'm just getting ready to get started into the next one. So yeah, there we go. And let's get it together here. All righty. So the next one, I had to do an update. Okay. So let's get into Mr. Smokey Robinson. Now, if you don't know, Smokey was accused of SA and amongst other things, right? And I think they sued him for like 50,000 or 50 no, excuse me, 50 not 50,000, 50,000,000. It was like 4 ladies, 4 housekeepers. I did a video on that, so check that out. But moving on past that, so, Smokey came out and he said, "Hey, no, you just not gonna do that to me." So Smokey came out and he sued them for defamation. I believe it was for 500,000,000, and then on top of that, he sued them for I think it was like elderly abuse. But here's the deal. Now I've got you up to speed real quick. His friend, one of his buddies, Mr. Leon Isaac Kennedy, who apparently who's a singer. I don't really know him, but he's a singer, okay, well-known singer. Came out and they're really good buddies. And Mr. Leon is also a minister. So I'll give you a little bit of the backdrop. So what I'm going to do is share a little bit of his video. He's speaking on behalf of Smokey and his character, right? It's a little bit long, so I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I may skip around a little bit. So we'll get into it and see how far we go because I don't wanna play yeah, not the whole 43 minutes. Nope. Let's get into what he has to say. It's quite interesting, and here we go.
That neither Smokey nor Francis know that I am going to make a public statement. I purposely did not tell anyone because I didn't want to get a call from their lawyers stating, "Mr. Kennedy, it's better not to say anything. Let us handle this." In my personal opinion, lawyers are always extra cautious and they have their own way of doing things. And eventually they will win in the court system. But that might take 2 to 3 years. But in the meantime, there's a court of public opinion that is forming right now. And I cannot sit idly by while this atrocity is playing out publicly. To both sets of attorneys, I say that I take legal and moral responsibility for everything that I share and any comments that I am about to make. I first met Smokey when I was a 15-year-old kid disc jockey in Cleveland, Ohio. Smokey was already an international star and co-founder of Motown, second in command of that mighty empire. Well, that was 60 years ago. It was an instant bonding, and from there on in, I was known as Smokey's little brother. Smokey was best man when I married Jane. I was there for the birth of all of Smokey's children. I'm their uncle. And we've had a total history together throughout all of the decades. When Smokey was dying of COVID, I got a call from Francis saying Smokey's refusing to go to the hospital, and for good reason. Many people went into the hospital and they didn't come out. But Francis said, "Leon, you're the only one that can get him to go to the hospital because only in the hospital can they administer this special treatment that they want to give to him." I went by the house and I simply said, "Smokey, you've got to go to the hospital." "I don't want to go." I said, "You've got to go, and I'm not going to let anything happen to you." I rode in the back of the ambulance with Smokey, not caring that I was in close proximity, exposing myself to the deadly COVID. I say all this just to show that we have a history and that we're very close. The morning that the news broke about these sexual allegations, I was first alerted by my former wife, Jane, who called me stating, "Leon, have you seen or heard these accusations?" Which I had not. I immediately called Smokey's house and said, "Maureen and I are on our way over." When I got there, he was up in the room watching the press conference that was just getting started.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna move around a little bit, okay? So I wanted you to hear how he's establishing their relationship, how they're pretty close. Anyway, let's move on, get to it. He makes some really good points. Whether they be true or false, he makes some really, really good points. I'm gonna move over because I already listened to this, so kind of. We'll start by right there.
I will say that certainly there are corrections or adjustments that need to be made, that need to be adhered to for justice. But usually when it comes to corrections, at the beginning of a corrective paradigm, the pendulum is always pushed too far in the opposite direction. And so it is with this Me Too movement. Now, too many men are found to be guilty upon accusation. Case in point, there are several men that I know wherein they were manipulatively and falsely accused of wrongful actions by women. These women simply stated, I want 100,000 or 300,000 or more, and if I don't get it, I'm going to say ba 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 ba. And these men have gone to their attorneys, and after one adds it all up, of how much the attorneys will cost to litigate and defend against these accusations, much less factor in all the turmoil, loss of reputation, loss of business, loss of career, or if you're in business, loss of corporate positions, in the time that it takes the 2 to 3 years to get to trial to finally be found innocent. In the interim, all the damage has already been done. So the man and the attorney make strictly a business decision that it's cheaper and less destructive just to pay them off, even though their accusations are completely unfounded. And for those of you that are watching, believe me, this happens every week in this society that we now live in. It's strictly a cost of doing business. However, in this case, with these absurd amounts and accusations, and I'm going to start showing some of these accusations. Roll the tape.
The principal causes of action against Mr. Robinson, in particular, are sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment. Obviously, these ladies are identified in the lawsuit as Does, Jane Does 1 through 4. To protect their privacy, our clients, these 4 courageous women, want and demand justice for themselves. We're seeking damages of $50 million.
These attorneys stated that for what these women went through, they deserve justice. But what the attorneys did was an extortionist shakedown. Because you attorneys, you didn't go to the police first. No. You went to Smokey asking for $100 million. You were told no. Then you dropped it to $50 million. Then you dropped it to $20 million. And then you dropped it to $10 million. And then when you were still told no, then you went to the public. So now from 10 or 20, it's back up to $50 million. And to you attorneys, I must say, how much are you getting? Usually when attorneys take a case on a contingency, sometimes they get 18%, 20%, 25%. The good ones get 33 1/3%. I understand you're getting 50%. 50%. So let me ask, as I do a calculation on this, there's 4 Jane Does. Allegedly, they were raped repeatedly. The 4 of them can split up $25 million. There are 2 attorneys, and you get the same amount that the 4 women who were repeatedly raped would receive, and you weren't repeatedly raped. But you're demanding 50%. This is a shakedown of greed in the highest proportions. And there's got to be consequences. There's got to be consequences against you, the attorneys, And there's got to be consequences against these 4 Jane Does. Do all of you think that you can ruin a person's life? You can ruin a legacy and a reputation forever? And the way the system is set up now, you've got nothing to lose and a hell of a lot to gain. What I tell you, there are going to be consequences. And by the way, I don't know them as Jane Does 1 through 4. I know them as Sandy and Maria and Blanca and Brenda. I'm not going to say last names because I don't want to be accused of putting them in danger. It's amazing to me that in this day and age, individuals can bring serious charges against another individual. And in some instances, not in this one, but in other instances, the accused doesn't even know who the accuser is. They're just a Jane Doe. And in this case, the so-called Jane Does are hiding behind masks and sunglasses and wigs. Why are you hiding? The attorneys have stated to protect their privacy. That's why they're hiding. I'm wondering, is it to protect them from the ridicule of being looked at as atrocious liars that they so clearly appear to be? Roll the tape right here.
Let's talk about Jane Doe number 1. She worked for the Robinsons for a little over a year, from January 2023 to February 24. Mr. Robinson first sexually assaulted and raped her in March of 23, as detailed in the complaint. What he would do was summons her to his blue bedroom, which you'll probably be hearing about later on. After having just showered, he would come out of the adjoining bathroom naked and proceed to force her to have sex with him against her will. He sexually assaulted and raped her in this manner 7 times.
So, Jane Doe was raped in this blue bedroom 7 times. Let me state that these women were not in the house singularly working. There were usually 2 or 3 working simultaneously.
Obviously, the women all worked together. Some of their shifts did overlap.
So there was always an overlap. So now, if you were raped in this blue bedroom 1 time, why would you go upstairs and stay upstairs and be alone with this man again if you think this is going to happen again? Wouldn't you go downstairs and stay away from him? Or say to one of the other maids, I need you to fix his lunch, or I need you to come up with me while I fix his lunch. Would you allow yourself to be in the same circumstance over and over and go through this same horrific deal 7 times? Would you not scream? Would you not holler? Would other people not hear you? Would you not allow yourself to be alone with him again and again and again, to be raped 7 times? To those that are listening to me, I say some things are just common sense. And so much of these stories play out as absurd. Roll the tape again.
Jane Doe number 2. She worked for the Robinsons from May 2014 to February 2020. Smokey Robinson's modus operandi was somewhat different with her. He would ask her to meet him in areas in the home where there were no cameras. There were 2 such places or areas in their Chatsworth home, the garage and the laundry room. When she would meet him at this location, he would immediately begin to sexually assault and rape her, causing her excruciating pain. He sexually assaulted and raped her in this manner 23 times.
that Smokey made as we were sitting watching the attorney's press conference. When it was over, Smokey said, "Rape? That's such a violent, angry act. I've always believed that sex should be mutually consensual and mutually enjoyed.
right? So I don't know if he has anything to really prove, but he's very petty. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays off. Trump threatened to pull, you know, his contracts, his federal contracts, and he's already lost a lot of money. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens next. But I'm here for it. I'm watching it. I'm just watching it with my little popcorn. And the drama is real. Like it's so much. They're like a reality show. I mean, should that politics is like watching the reality show. It's a bunch of straight up drama. Yeah, so I'm not gonna stick on that too long. I just want to just show how the relationship, how they started out as buddies and all the things, and the next thing we know, yeah, they broke up, and it's harsh. So, and then lastly on that, Trump said he didn't want to talk to him. He said he did not want to talk to him, and he was done. So we'll see. Let me see here. Here's the video. Here we go. Hold on a second. Um, should we see it? Okay. Okay. I'm sharing the video. Okay, just a second. Check out okay. So let me start it over. Okay, so let me go again. Let's try this again. Okay. I'm gonna start it back over.
While you put in the work. Visualize your success. Attack. Trump alternates between dancing and Chicago party shows
So here's the video that he actually shared.
Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein. More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter.
Well, I mean, there's that.
Of a Mar-a-Lago party.
Okay, there's that. Okay. I mean, that's not really, I don't think that's enough to really do anything, but I guess his point is that he has proof. I guess he has something over Trump's head, I guess. But anyway, I'm watching them. It's just very interesting to watch them, okay? Go back and forth. It's really interesting. Okay, we're gonna take a little break and go into a vibe, and I'll be back in a minute, okay? Thank you for listening. This is Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. It's been a pleasure. I'll be right back, okay? So just a second, and let's get some music going. Okay. Nikki. All right, here we go. And, and I'll be right back. Thank you.
Said you needed space. Said you needed more time to think. So you went away. But you still would stay in my dream.
Yeah, this is your chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. So I'm back real quick. I'm gonna do a wrap up. I covered a lot of different things. So I'm gonna do a quick wrap up. So we went over. We looked at Miss Little Queen Bee. Okay, Little Beyonce, Blue Ivy, and we just looked at her. I realized she can dance so much. Man, I'm so proud of her. Anyway, that was the point. Just showing how cute she is and the fact that she has come a long way. So we looked at that. We looked at the officer. He was the chief of police out of Arkansas. They finally captured him, and honestly, I actually was surprised about that. I don't know why. I just thought they weren't gonna catch him. I thought maybe he had a skill set. They weren't gonna be able to catch him, but I guess they said whatever. So they got him, and also we talked about Smokey Robinson and his buddy that came out, Mr. Leon, and spoke on his behalf about because he's been accused of these things, this essay and all the things. So he came out to represent for his friend and speak on his behalf. And we listened to a little bit of that. And we also talked about Brian McKnight. Not really much on Brian McKnight. It's just the fact that Brian McKnight is just, he's to me, he's been out. I'm first of all, I'm a Brian McKnight fan of his music. As far as his family goes, it seems like I've been hearing all these different things here and there and to and fro. Okay, all right. So there's that. And then we talked about um Cardi B and Offset and her new man, and there's a whole lot going on with that. I didn't really say, but I will say I do feel like Cardi B is trying to move forward and move on. and I do think that maybe and not knocking her. I just think maybe she stayed too long. And the reason I say that is because it's gotten to this, right? It's gotten volatile, and people just be splitting up. But these two, I'm happy they're apart because they don't seem like it doesn't appear that they're good for each other. So moving on, but yeah, we spoke on that and how Offset deleted his Instagram uh profile. I think he'll come back. He'll be back. He can't stay offline. There's no way. But I do like the fact that he actually went ahead and deleted and got on off because that with the braids was truly now that was petty. That was a 50 cents petty. Okay. That's a high level petty. But I think the Cardi B's point is she's truly tired. I think her point is she's truly over it. I think that is the point. And again, I do think she's at peace with um Stefan. I think she really digging Stefan. And I didn't get into it, but there was another article that I saw where she said, I believe she said she prayed about it or something like that, or something to do about it, but she didn't just choose him. I think she don't hold me to that, but I believe I read that somewhere. And moving on. Okay. Then we talked about our president, our current president, and his broham over there. We talked about his broham, him and Elon Musk. Yeah, how Elon and they broke up basically, and it's everybody's like, okay, y'all broke up, now go sit down. But nevertheless, just a lot of back and forth drama, like a married couple, right? Just back and forth. And it's crazy. And I was gonna let me mention this as well. I don't mean to follow back, but I am. Elon threatened to start a new party, and I forgot to mention that stuck out to me, and I was just like, "Sir," and I'm not saying he can't do it, but that's huge. That's a huge order, and Elon is, I think, honestly, has made a lot of people angry, and I don't know how many of the Republican. Well, his point of wait, hold on. The point of him actually creating the new parties because it would definitely give the Republicans a run for the money. That was the point on that. He's basically saying he's rich, okay, and he can do it. But yeah, I just cannot wait to see what's gonna happen next. I'm not nervous. I just can't wait to see it. Like I got my popcorn. I can't. Like what's gonna happen now? Um, and the other crazy part about this is, it's like everybody knew, but Elon. Everybody knew this was gonna happen, but Elon. That's what it looks like, right? I'm not. I'm just saying. He's the only one. I feel like he was like. I think his feelings is hurt almost for real. That's what it looks like. That's why everybody keeps comparing them to like a couple. We know they're mean, but we're just saying. Both one of the most powerful men in the world, and one of the most richest men in the world. So this is a mess, whole entire mess. Okay. But there's that. And so we talked about that. And I think I covered mostly everything. I think the only thing I really didn't cover that's related to true crime is the escapees out of New Orleans and Massey. Oh yeah, I did report a little bit of that, but I did a video on that. But Massey, and I do want to touch on that real quick, just for a second. Um, I saw the video where the young cat came out, and he was giving his spiel about that they let him out. He was let out. He didn't leave. He didn't break out. I was like, okay, I think he's still considered just breaking out, right? Anyway, moving on from that. But then I was sitting there thinking to myself, you could see the back, like the video, you could see the whole background while he was talking. And I was just like, let me pull that up. I mean, I was like, what are you doing? He is moving recklessly. Like, if you're not trying to get caught, why are you moving like that? Somebody else said they saw him out, and then I was just like, "Now you just playing in people's faces at this point. You just playing in people's faces, honey." 'Cause I think they saw him out in something else. But, I wanna know, like, I mean, they provided the address where they found it's like a set of clothes apparently he was wearing and all of that. But, I think they're gonna catch him soon. Hopefully, I just hope he's safe, honestly. I mean, I know he's done all these things, but he's still young, and he's a parent, and but he needs to get himself together. But I just hope he doesn't get hurt because this is not smart. But I wanna know, I'm nosy. I wanna know whose place was he at, like, what place? Who filmed this, and whose living room? 'Cause I hate to say it, but they're gonna be on I just know they're gonna get them next. But the weird part is he was only a few miles away, I believe, from the actual jail, which is wild. Anyway, I just think that's a bit of a crazy story, and also we're focused so much on him, on Massey. I think people are not paying I know they're still looking for the other guy, but they're not really talking about him too much because we're all focused on Massey because Massey's showing up all over social media. And let me pull it up real quick. You know, I'm looking because I saw something earlier where Massey was somewhere else. I was like, "What are you doing?" He had a whole different outfit on. Let me look because maybe, um, let me see here just a second. I had it pulled up. Yeah, I was gonna look for it. But anyway, I just thought that was crazy. And yeah, and his family wants him safe. His mom was crying, his grandpa came on there. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think leaving was the best route. I guess, right? I mean, he's in this situation. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking to see if I can get it real quick. Just real quick. And yeah, but and also, this young man has also been apparently he's been in and out of jail since he was like 10 years old too. So this has been unfortunately been a bit of a lifestyle for him. So this is a whole thing. Um, yeah. Let's see if I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, there we go. Let me see. Let me see real quick. Okay. Yeah, let's get it. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So make sure I'm sharing so you can see the screen. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So it says authorities raid home where jail escapee may have filmed a video claiming innocent, asking Lil Wayne and Trump for help. And also, I didn't know apparently, I guess either he knows someone or he's from money or something. But I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but let's see here. Cause I listened to it. It was a bit long. I think he actually posted more than once. I think he did it a couple times. Let's see if it's gonna act right. Let's see. Let's give it a sec.
Police and U.S. Marshals are investigating a video that appears to show one of the remaining escaped inmates who broke out of that New Orleans jail last month. The video, which was posted to Instagram and then later taken down, shows a man identifying himself as Antoine Massey. In the video, the man declares his innocence and then begs for help from the likes of Donald Trump, Lil Wayne, and Meek Mill.
When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all please to come help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world to let y'all know I'm not a raper, man. I'm not none of that. None of that. I'm a good person. My name is Antoine Massey. I'm asking for help. I was one of the ones that was let out Orleans Parish jail.
Let's not forget the reward has been raised at $50,000 in connection with tips to find and capture this man. One of the things we talked to investigators about is they believe that these two men, Groves and Massey, would not get on the internet and they would be smart enough to sort of avoid a digital footprint. It seems like Massey, who's escaped before, wanted to get his message out there, and he's done that at this point.
Yeah, he definitely done this at this point. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they couldn't verify this video. I'm surprised. I am surprised by that, but yeah. So it looks like there are 2 left. So 8 have been caught. So we have 2 left, and they mostly were in New Orleans. So only Massey, who's 32, was convicted murder. Derrick Groves, 27. That's so young. and they're still on the run. I wish they would turn themselves in. Massey has evaded hundreds of authorities in multi-state manhunt, but over the weekend, a man who strongly resembles the fugitive, who has 3 distinctive tattoos on his face, appeared in someone's kitchen in a video posted on Instagram. Now, y'all know that was Massey. I'm asking, please, for help. I'm not gonna go back though. He just went over that. Anyway, from my understanding, he has something to do, like he's either related to Lil Wayne, because he kind of referenced it, and I don't know how the relation. I heard that earlier. You know, you hear so many different. Hear so many different things on social media, but nevertheless. Okay, well, anyway, moving on. I don't know why I'm fascinated about these people breaking out. It's crazy. All right. Well, anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for listening. I'm going to play a song or two, and then we're gonna get out of here. I do appreciate it. If you're coming to the replay, thank you for listening. Thank you for vibing. Thank you for sharing all the things. I do appreciate it. And I'll be back with another one. I'll get better at this. I'll get better. I'll keep doing it, and I'll get better and better and better. But I do appreciate your support. I do. Okay. This is Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. And have an awesome day. Okay. All right. Just a second. Okay. Well, let's get back to it. The jam.
Even on my nights off, I can't even rest up for the morning. Tell me why it has to follow me around, ooh. Never letting me be, even if I want to, even if I try to. Ooh, I really do. Always finding something wrong with me, and I lose every time I get stuck in.
Also, I just want to mention as well, if there's anything you want to discuss or talk about, let me know. I'm open. Okay, I am. And yeah, I love to chit chat if you haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, I enjoy this. So if anybody or anyone that you want to talk about a specific subject or matter, I'll be happy to research it and we can definitely have a whole convo about it. Okay. All right, we're going to continue to chill vibe and then we're going to call it an evening. Okay, all right. Thank you. Get back to it.
Damaged goods, damage should have never been. Thought you were bulletproof. Look at you, what happened? Did she hurt you? Are you okay, baby? Everyone gets hurt. That's how we learn to make love work. It's part
Good night. Thank you for listening.